How are we doing, chat? Welcome in, welcome in. We will be kicking things off very shortly. Got a different format for you today. A little bit of a mix-up compared to our usual GT3 races on a Monday evening. Today we're going to be running Gr86s here at Donington Park. Joined here with commentary from Jacob Reed as well.
Hello.
Who's also going to be stewarding this race. I can imagine there's going to be a lot of close racing, potentially quite a bit of stewarding, as we're watching a lot of these GRs going off track. What I will do is I will share my stream to you as well, as I usually do.
I mean, it's one of those, like, I might be a bit more lenient just because, you know, it's GRs.
Yeah,
I think what is GR racing if you're not having contact?
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a lot of wheel-to-wheel. I think that's why this race is going to be a lot more interesting than some of the racing that we have seen in GT3.
Like, I think if I was seeing someone, you know, punt someone off the track, then, you know, I'll step in, but bit of running them wide, bit of pushing them off a bit, door-to-door contact, it's good.
I think that is what makes GR racing and some of these sort of production cars a lot more interesting to watch. So obviously a lot less horsepower out of these cars does make for some really good bumper-to-bumper, door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel racing, especially at a fast-flowing track like Donington Park.
Yeah, especially, like, I think slipstream's still, like, really powerful in these cars, so even if you get ahead, it's very hard to break away, and you just gotta, well, what I'm hoping for is a nice bit of kind of pack fighting.
Yeah, if it's anything like what we saw last week at Sebring, in the ongoing battle between Ethan Turner and Nico Balderrama in GT3 at Sebring last weekend, was definitely entertaining to watch for the entire hour. So we are currently in the practice session here at Donington Park. It's 5 PM in game time. Just under 12 minutes to go until we jump into the open qualifying session, which will last 15 minutes. All GRs out on track to set fastest lap times, which sets the starting position for the race. It's going to be a standing start here today, which is a definite mix-up from our rolling starts that we run in GT3. How are we doing, Factors? Welcome in.
One driver who I may have to keep an eye on is Rob Sutton. It looks like we may have a brand new driver to Iracing. He is 2.5 rookie and 1.3k, which is the default Iracing. So I'm watching him drive at the moment, and maybe struggling a little bit to keep on track.
Yep, definitely one to watch out for. I think that is going to be the key. I think early on in the race is just keeping an eye on these lower I-rated drivers, just to make sure they're not causing chaos. I do believe Rob Sutton has been in one of our previous sessions.
Oh, okay. So maybe not brand new, but...
There's Rob now into the pit lane. So yeah, we've opted for the short version of the tracks. This is the national circuit here at Donington Park. Just thought it'd be nice to sort of try and keep the cars as closely packed together as possible. Gives more opportunity for back markers as well with the less distance per lap. I think as well a lot of drivers do struggle with the Melbourne hairpin on the Grand Prix circuit.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a weird corner.
Yeah, it's one of those where you sort of braking downhill, trying to get the rotation in the car without running wide, and then trying to set yourself up for the sort of last corner.
I always find that last corner as well can be quite interesting. It's like a bump in it, and if you take it wrong, it can kind of spit you out.
Yeah, it's like a bump, blind crest, and turning.
Yeah. What I am enjoying is watching some of these drivers on that last chicane. You see, some of them are like, oh yeah, I don't want to run over the sausage curves, and some of them, they're taking them. They're going two wheels into these corners.
Yeah, you talk about corners spitting you out as well. The big sausage curbs through these S's can be pretty hard to manage. The GRs do look like they can attack them pretty well.
They're pretty soft on the suspension, so you can chuck them in. By the way, I think is your feed live? I don't think your feed is live.
In TikTok or?
On Iracing. I'm looking at Charlie O'Kane right now, and he's a lot further down the track.
Let's see. Wait.
Actually, no, I think it's me.
Yeah, it might be.
Ignore them.
I'm as far forward as I can go.
Charlie O'Kane kind of setting the pace in practice. You know, he's 2/10 faster than anyone else.
There's Rob Sutton almost impeding Charlie O'Kane.
Yeah. A little bit of a mobile chicane going on there.
That's one thing that the drivers will have to pay attention to when it comes to qualifying. Saying he's never raced this track, hope it goes well. I think it'd be really good to see another fight between you and Ethan. Have raised the instant limit to 40 for this race. We expect a little bit more sort of wheel to wheel, hopefully a little bit more lenient as well for the automatic DQs. So 6 minutes to go in practice. Charlie O'Kane currently leading the way with the 116 flat. All top 5 drivers into the 116s. Darren Jones, just for the follow, welcome in.
I think it's going to be interesting to see whether pace actually even ends up mattering in this race. You know, with the tow and everyone fighting, I wonder whether it's literally just going to be who survives. I mean, if you're at the front and you can break away from the pack and you have the pace, then that'll be pretty good. And if you can break that tow and run away, you'll be set for the race.
12 drivers signed up for the session. Anybody in chat that is wanting to join, feel free to come and join the session. We've got 5 minutes left to practice, so there's plenty of time. If you search for Refined Motorsport in the hosted sessions in Iracing, you'll be able to find the session and join. There is no password on this session, so anyone is welcome to participate. Sam Drives, just for sharing the live. Welcome into the stream. So we will have a quick chat with the drivers, just to let everybody know what is going on. Can I just quickly get a radio check? So comms coming across in Iracing?
Yeah, I had it.
Cool. I'm not sure if I'm broadcasting to all drivers or radio check.
Yeah.
Thank you much, Lee. Yeah, welcome in, guys. Donington Park Gr86s, something slightly different to what we usually do. We'll say that there are some changes that you guys might not be expecting, so we are running a standing start for today's race. It's going to be our usual 1 hour race with a 15-minute open qualifying session. We're also running a 30% fuel limit as well, so I think we should be expecting some pit stops too. We have unlimited fast repairs as well. We'll do the usual safety car business where necessary, so if the safety car comes out, you will be able to just jump in for a pit stop, claim your fast repair, and come back out behind the safety car. If you are unlapping yourself from the safety car, we will be instructing you to do so. Just bear in mind that when you come around onto the back of the pack, that you will be joining the back of the pack, so let's not plough into the back of the cars behind the pace car. We have seen that a couple of times. Not ideal. We'll be keeping an eye on incidents throughout the race. We are going to be a little bit more lenient in terms of wheel-to-wheel, door-to-door. These are Gr86s. But we do have Jacob Reed here who will be stewarding the race as well, so anything that he says goes. But yeah, enjoy the race, guys. Again, don't forget that we are broadcasting live on the Refined Motorsport social media channels as well. If you want to come watch the broadcast over there, all of that will be published after the race as well, if you do want to rewatch any of that back. Don't forget to come join the Discord. Discord link is in the description of this session, and you'll be able to keep an eye on what races are coming up in the future as well. But yeah, enjoy the race, guys. Have fun. And let's try and keep it clean.
Cheers, Connor.
Hello, everyone. It is your friendly steward here. What I'm going to be looking for today is basically just if you're absolutely sending people off track. You know, these are Gr86s, bit of contact, I ain't going to really care too much. But if you're pushing someone right off track or absolutely punching them, then I might get involved. Also, please keep your radio on and try it if possible. It might not happen, but there is a possibility for some incidents I may just issue a command of please return the position if it kind of suits that, and if you are able to hear me, that means you can do it. If you don't do that, then it will follow with a penalty after. But yeah, it's Gr86s, man. Do what you want, just don't be an idiot.
So, you heard it there from Jacob. Don't be an idiot. Let's go for some good hard racing in the Gr86s as we come into the last 30 seconds of practice. All the drivers seem to be in the pits. A couple of drivers still on track. It's Glendinning, currently in P5 at the moment. It's a new addition to these open sessions. We will be kicking off the league very shortly. A lot of work going into the website over the last couple of weeks in terms of all of the league management and broadcasting results, which will all be shared on there too. More to come in the Discord for that. But that is it for practice. Just about to jump into quali. So we have a 15-minute qualifying session today. Open qualifying, meaning all drivers out on track at the same time. Drivers going to have to find space in order to set their lap times. And then we'll be following up with a 1 hour race with a 30% fuel limit, meaning that a pit stop is going to be most likely. Mongo, cheers for the follow. Welcome in, guys. Cheers for the likes as well, Bullet. Don't forget to follow on the other social channels as well. We are streaming over on the red channel and the purple channel as well. As the drivers are now coming out of the pits for what should be an intense qualifying session.
Charlie O'Kane's out the pits first. You know, his pit slot has helped him there in terms of getting clear air, but obviously he's not going to benefit from any slipstream. So he is just banking on, you know, some clear air and being able to get the laps in. We'll see whether anyone else tries a bit of a slipstream game.
As we see Rob Sutton getting very loose with the car on the pit exit there. Great to see Karsten Havdal back as well. Interesting to see how he's going to do in the GRs. We've seen his performance in the GT3s. GRs is definitely a different ball game when it comes to racing. I think one thing that's going to be very interesting to look out for at the beginning of this race is definitely going to be that standing start procedure. Who can get off the line the quickest.
Yeah, you know, quite actually rare if you're, you know, a standard GT3 driver to do a standing start in iRacing. I know whenever I go back to it, I always kind of forget how to do it. So I have a feeling these people may not know. If anything, the rookies might have an advantage because they may have been doing more.
Yeah, I was watching a bit of Apex Bandit's stream earlier today. Anyone doesn't know Apex Bandit, it's George Ward who's racing at the moment today. He's been driving the GRs over at Spa just before this, so feeling pretty comfortable in the Gr86. So we will take a look at a lap from Charlie O'Kane, who was our front runner in practice, as we come down the Wheatcross Straight. Braking just at the exit of the pit exit into the tightening right-hander of Redgate. Looking to keep a tight line through Hollywood as we come down through the Craner curves. Finding your braking point and turning in point for the old hairpin as we come up and underneath Starkins Bridge. Fast left-hander Schwartz curve, heavy on the brakes, trying to find the balance as we come through McLean's without getting an off-track on the exit of McLean's. Coppice always a tough one. The car kind of wants to pull away from you, but you want to try and keep a tight line with these Gr86s. And as we come down the fastest part of the circuit, the Dunlop Straight, left-hand side of the track, as we're running the National, as Charlie O'Kane all the way up on two wheels as it comes through the Falcon TS's and across the start finish line. which puts him in P2 with a 1:16.2. Charlie O'Kane not finding that P1 spot.
I think he has a bit more pace in him. Looked like he had some mistakes that lap.
Yeah, up on onto two wheels through the S's is probably not the
No,
ideal way to find the most grip.
I think that might be the strat, you know.
Faye says, "Come on, no fuel, Havdal."
I mean, if you straight line the chicane, you don't need any grip. Right behind Charlie, he's just sticking behind. Just using the toe. I think he's playing a game here. It's not like he's trying to find a gap here to get some lap times in. He's just sticking on the bumper of Charlie.
How important do we think that the slipstream, the toe, is going to be around this track?
I think it will be quite important. I'm not exactly a GR expert, but I do know that in these lower power cars, the slipstream does make a pretty big difference. So yeah, I think it will be a benefit.
I think one thing to pay attention to throughout this race is going to be the off tracks, especially through McLean's. I've seen a couple of drivers running wide through the exit.
I'm not actually sure where the off track is there. Is it the curb or the white line?
So you can get pretty much all the way over the curb. It's very easy to pick up an off track on the inside as well, McLean's.
Yeah.
Sam Baird now jumping over the curbs of the S's.
George Ward, black flag.
Guesses that will be due to speeding in the pit lane. As he comes out the pit again for his second try and gets another black flag in typical George Ward style.
Oh, I think I just saw Ethan try and practice a pit entry and... Oh, he hasn't got a black flag. It looked like he went very fast.
Nico Balderrama in the Castrol livery. We'll just quickly triple check that my trade paint is up to date and loaded.
Yeah, I think so.
I've had a couple of issues with audio and paint jobs and things loading, but everything seems to be okay today. Nico Balderrama in 4th place at the moment. 1:16.5. As Ken Backer now puts a time onto the board with a 1:18.3. Definitely needs to find more pace if he wants to be contending for position in this race. Do you want to just check what livery you've got for Nico Balderrama?
Yeah, it's the Castrol.
It is, yeah. That's 6 minutes of qualifying to go. Fairly humid track conditions today. Got 19 degrees air temp, 24 degrees track, 95% humidity.
Might make it a bit slippier out there, but still fairly cool track temps. 25-degree track temp, so I think they'll manage.
Couple of drivers now into the 115s. Ethan Turner, Charlie O'Kane. Absolute
Created by
margins up at the top.
200th of a second. Let's see whether Rob Sutton actually manages a lap. Oh, I've already got racing going on in qualifying.
So if you are joining here in chat for the first time, feel free to drop me a follow, share the stream, drop some likes in, helps share the race with more people. So Carson Habdal's still yet to set a lap time. He's had 6 incident points during qualifying.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on him. He's a bit all over the place. I think maybe Gr86s are not his jam. Or maybe he doesn't know the track too well, learning it a bit last minute. I think he's getting a fair few off tracks. And just not actually setting valid laps.
I think that is the case as well when it comes to sort of swapping out what you're used to driving. I know that me personally, driving GT3s a week straight and then jumping to MX5s, I mean, obviously, yeah, they're completely different cars, but it's almost like I forget how to drive.
Yeah, I actually went and tried an MX5 a few weeks ago. I think it was in week 13 or something of last season. And genuinely, I can barely drive them anymore. Like, it's completely different. Kind of makes me feel sad when getting slapped by like 1.8k drivers in the MX5s.
To be fair, before I got into the IMSA races, I did enjoy driving the Advanced MX5 Cup. Obviously a massive difference between that and rookies, but when you're racing sort of above 2k in Advanced MX5s, and you really do get the entire race, like bumper to bumper, not many incidents, but sort of elbows out, but clean racing. It is very, very good.
I remember at the start of the year, I actually did some production car challenge at Daytona in Gr86s, and that was just a load of fun. Just bump drafting and pack racing. It was quite fun.
A lot of drivers losing the pit limiter by the looks of it.
I know, yeah.
There's a lot of drivers getting black flags on pit entry and pit exits.
It's something where Gr86s have pit limiters. I don't know why everyone is forgetting how they work.
Yeah. How are we doing, Danielle? Welcome in. Welcome in, Stig. Welcome in, Charlie. Welcome in, Bullet. Welcome in, Mungo.
I think Rob Sutton may have given up trying to set a lap and he has disconnected. So 1 minute left now, so all the people in the pits won't have time to get out and do an outlap. Nico Balderrama comes into the pits. So I think we only are going to have one person on track doing a lap, and that is Harry Natage. Yeah, I'm confused what's going on in the pits. Sam keeps leaving, going to pit exit, and then towing.
Probably checking out some settings or something. Welcome in Tom Lab. So we see Harry Nottage just pulling over to the side of the track as qualifying does come into the last few seconds. So let's have a quick look before we run out of time, because I know that we are going to be going racing very shortly. Let's have a quick look at today's starting grid. So we do have Ethan Turner starting on the front row in that pole position in the Toto livery into the 115s, 115.9, followed by Charlie O'Kane also in the 115s starting on the front row in P2. Sam Baird in P3, Nico Badarama P4. Onto the third row, we have Karstien Habdal starting in P5, George Ward starting in P6. P7, we have Harry Nottage, and alongside him, Gary Kingerby in P8. Ken Backen starting in P9 at the back of the grid. So session is just coming to an end. We are just on the cool down for the drivers to start getting gridded up. So standing start today, different from our usual rolling start. So
I think I know what was going on in the pit lane. Everyone's been practicing how to do a standing start. George is holding up this session by just going out the pits and doing a bunch of standing starts.
So drivers are getting gridded up. 12 drivers, not sure how many of these will grid up.
Alright, boys. No heroics into Thunderbot.
So just waiting on a few more drivers to get on the grid. Ethan Turner still not gridded up yet. Nico Badarama not gridded up in that P1 and P4 position. Cooper Afton in P10. Still waiting on him as we get a bit of a flash of lights there from Sam Baird. Ethan Turner now on the grid.
I think we have everyone gridded now.
Yep, I've just delayed the start by 10 seconds just to check that that was all working as expected. Should be going racing very shortly.
Do you mean 10 seconds or 10 minutes? Because it's a 10-minute countdown you got at the moment.
Okay, right, let's get that started. Okay, there we go. So, standing start here at Donington Park. We've got 1 hour of racing. Everybody looking for the green light.
Oh,
Like a
that is
screen, George Ward
with a
with
stall.
a slow start. Balls all the way back to the back of the grid. Ethan Turner, good getaway. Already big lead over Charlie O'Kane. Everything's looking pretty clean so far. Karsten Havdal loses out to Sam Baird, who takes that P3 spot. Already the gap opening up at the
3 wide
back.
into Craner curves.
As Lewis Glendling takes that P6 spot alongside Ken Backen. George Ward getting it all wrong there at the start of this race.
I think he caught him out with that delayed start. He was asleep at the wheel. He's caught back up to the back of the pack though. He's still in this.
Ethan Turner on the first lap. First lap already completed, almost a second up on Charlie O'Kane. All the drivers making it cleanly through that first lap. A lot going on towards the back of the pack as they come down now into Redgate. 2 of the rows side by side as Nico Balderrama makes up that spot, and Harry Nottage losing the rear end into Redgate.
It looked like he may have had a bit of help there from George Ward. I think he was already losing it. He bounced it over the curb and was already about to spin, and George just gave him a bit of a helping hand. Nothing to do there.
So Lewis Glendinning leading the pack from P5. Bit of a train behind him. Front runners already pulling away. It's a 3-second gap between P4 and P5.
Looks like we've got kind of 2 very distinctive packs.
Nico Balderrama looking for a move up the inside of Ken Backen. Ken Backen getting all loose over the S's and across the gravel. Loses out 2 positions. George
3
Ward
wide
now.
into turn 1. Lewis backs out. George from last to 5th. Looks for the switchback as Nico goes wide. Doesn't quite get it, but he's got an overlap. He can keep this down here. He will have the inside. Is he backing out? Is he backing out? And he backs out. I think he needed slightly larger balls for that move, and he failed to deliver.
Nico Balderrama going a little bit deep into the old hairpin. Allows George Ward to get right on the tail as we come through McLean's. Nico Balderrama
Alternative line from Nico there.
out into the gravel. Just keeping an eye back on the leaders. Ethan Turner still leading the race. Charlie O'Kane's managed to close that gap now. Ethan Turner making up a second at the start of this race. Charlie O'Kane, Sam Baird, all now in the battle for first place. Sam Baird a little bit deep into Redgate. Loses a couple of attempts there to Charlie O'Kane.
I thought with that start that Ethan got, he was going to be able to break away, but Charlie's got right back into the slipstream. He hasn't been able to break off the pack. Now, Ethan's got it all to do here.
As you see, Ethan getting a little bit loose as we go through McLean's and through Coppice now. Charlie O'Kane looking to get a run down into the fog of TS's. Goes to the right hand side. Ethan Turner goes slightly defensive. Charlie O'Kane unable to make that one stick. Ethan Turner able to hold on to the P1 spot as we come across the start finish line to start lap 4.
I think
Turner
this is going to have to be a game of
defensive.
defense now. This is where I'm not sure whether this might just be slipstream, but it looks like Charlie has the pace as Ethan goes way wide there. Charlie takes the lead.
It's these small little moves that are going to be the bearer of bad news for these drivers when they do make these slight off tracks. You lose so much pace in these slower horsepower cars. This track being a track where mid-corner speed and corner speed is just generally more important, I think, than the line that you take. Charlie O'Kane 3 temps up. Ethan Turner looking to fight back. Sam Baird and Carson Havdal, don't take them out of this race just yet. Sam Baird gets a credible line through the fog TS's side by side with Ethan Turner. Is he going to be able to make the stick round the outside? Carson Havdal also trying to look for a move round the outside as Ethan
Bit
Turner.
of contact there. Oh, that's some more contact.
That was a big accident. I'm not sure if Carsten came across Ethan or across Sam, sorry, or
Not really. Depends how much you want to be, easy with the safety cars. It was a big crash. Would you want to call that?
let's have a quick review of that. Let's keep an eye on Ethan Turner as well for off tracks at the bottom of the old hairpin. Let's see if we can take a quick look at what just happened there at the back. Again, it's really sort of hard to see.
Yeah, from my perspective, that was an incident on Sam Baird. I would say let's put a safety car out and then review the penalty if there needs to be one. If you agree with safety car on that.
The yellow flag is down.
So yeah, safety car we will bring out. Let's try and have another look at what happened. It's very hard to see from the camera position that we had.
What's the 40% pace, 50% pace?
I just catch the pace car. I am reviewing from my camera angles.
Yeah, I'll let you review that. I will say one thing. So, Ethan Turner, car number 3, currently a warning for track limits at the bottom of Old Hairpin.
So, Carsten is pretty much on the white line on the right hand side, and Sam does drive across like he's not there. I'm going to say incident responsibility to Sam. I'm thinking back of the line penalty.
Yep, I'm happy with that. Wait until they've got the pace car though first.
Yeah, I will. Incident review between Sam and Carsten. Incident responsibility to Sam for causing a collision It will be a back of the line penalty when everyone has caught, so you're not out of it, but you got some racing to do.
Sorry, for who? Sam, did you say?
Yeah, for Sam.
Okay, thank you very much for clarification.
So again, just a quick note, you guys are approaching the back of the safety car. Let's not all pile into each other. As I believe all the cars barring Ken Backen, who is currently in the pits.
Not actually sure what's happened to Ken. He got a meatball. I'm gonna try to see if I can see what's happened here.
Fast repairs should be enabled.
Yeah, I don't know whether he had to tow. Looks like I think he lost it on his own. Way out wide, onto the grass, and spun all the way into the wall, smashing the front of the car up.
Okay, do we want to move Sam Baird to the end of the line?
Yep.
That should... There we go, there it is. Sam Baird, end of line. So Ken Backen now back out of the pits.
Might take quite a while to catch the pace car and then to get the wave around as well. Depends how long you're leaving the safety car out.
I'm just going to add a bunch of laps to it at the moment. I'll keep an eye on where he is. So Ken Backen is a couple of laps down. He will be given a wave around when he does come through. If you can allow him to pass on the right hand side, and all drivers behind the safety car stay on the left hand side.
I don't suppose you know where the pit lane's opened, whether people want to take a pit stop at this point.
It should be.
Is pit lane open for you guys?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we're leaving the pace car out for a bit while Ken catches, so feel free if you do want to pit next up.
There comes the strategies.
A bit of free advice right now. Ken, when he gets his wave around, because he's served his fast repair, will be on a better strategy than all of you. Do with that what you want.
We can't give them strategy advice.
We review the steward,
Incident with the steward has been reviewed, and the action is nothing, because I can do what I want.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
So you've basically got God's finger, yeah?
So
You get it.
if you can give the wave around if it's not been given already for Ken.
I think he did it anyway.
Yeah, but he'll get a penalty if it hasn't been approved.
Yeah, I've put the wave around on it. He should be good.
Can we see a replay of the incident? We sure can see a replay of the incident. So first of all, let's have a quick look at Ken Backen's incident. So this is incident put Ken in the pits, absolutely loses the rear end, gets too wide, front end into the tyre barrier. Not ideal.
So we see only 3 cars pitting.
Karstein Havdal, this is the incident with him and Sam Baird. Unfortunately, we don't have a better camera angle than that, but Sam Baird taking big damage there.
One thing to note, because Sam didn't pit, I will redo the end of line penalty because he's moved up quite a bit, just from the fact that people have pit.
Yeah.
Wait, Sam, you're not getting a freebie. I am going to put you back to the end of the line when everyone catches.
Oh, come on.
Thou shalt not argue with the god.
I'd say we be fair and we give him a coin toss. If he loses, he's got to do one less lap.
Alright, we're starting to get everyone catching up now.
So all drivers, I will be bringing the car back in at the end of this lap.
You don't have to go back yet, Sam. You'll see it when I do it.
So lights out on the safety car. Single file restart.
Ken should catch. If he doesn't, you get a penalty, or anyone gets a penalty, I'll clear that.
So about to go green light. Charlie O'Kane to set the pace for this restart as the pace car goes into the pits. The flag is green. Charlie O'Kane is away. Not been able to get the jump. Ethan Turner right behind. Looks to go up the inside. Ethan Turner to the inside on Redgate. Manages to reclaim that P1 spot. George Ward up into third place. Almost gets taken out by Charlie O'Kane, trying to cut back there on Ethan Turner, but now George Ward under pressure from Nico Balderrama, who does look to be taking third place. George Ward back down into fourth. Ethan Turner, Charlie O'Kane side by side as we come up through Coppice. Everyone scrapping for that P1 spot. Nico Balderrama side by side with Ethan Turner.
I think George fancies. What was he bum drafting? I was thinking go for it, 3 wide, send it. Nah, he backs out. He chooses life.
We're backing out there as. Whoa, I think that was Nico Balderrama getting up onto 2 wheels and getting all loose, taking Ethan Turner out in the Fog TS's, putting him at the back of the grid. I think Nico should be given a 10-second. I can set that up on my side as part of this.
You do 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on it, man.
We're investigating. Chill. We're investigating. Calm down, Ethan.
Yeah, if you could do a 10-second, I think that's fine. Topco might be a bit too much for that. You know, it was close racing. Yes, it was his fault, but.
So that is a 10-second time penalty for Nico Balderrama. Charlie O'Kane now 1.3 seconds up into the lead.
Sorry, mate, that's my fault.
Sam trying to work his way back up. You can see the front runners now. made his way through the people at the back, and now wants to catch up to that leading pack, get back in the fight for the lead. Ethan Turner with it all to do now, right at the back, but I think he can still make his way through.
Nico Balderrama all over the back of George Ward, looking to make a move. George Ward doing incredibly well to be up into P2 after his terrible start and off the grid at the start of this race.
I didn't even know you could do penalties for next stop. Is that going to make him pit? Does that not count as a stop go?
It'll add to his stop go, I think.
Does he have to pit within 3 laps? That's the question.
I don't believe so.
I guess we'll find out.
I think time penalty is just added on at the end.
Well, that is a dive from Gary Kingby. He was lucky to not take anyone out with that in the chicane.
Nico Balderrama looks to go to the outside now. George Ward having to defend into Redgate. Nico Balderrama round the outside. Runs deep into Redgate, goes off into the gravel. George Ward able to hold on to that position. Nico Balderrama now losing out to both Lewis Glendinning and Gary Kingaby. Just a little bit too late on the brakes there from Nico. It's Karsten Havdal chasing down Sam Baird. Both drivers come off worse for wear in the opening minutes of the race. Karsten Havdal suffering that massive amount of damage, Sam Baird getting the penalty. Both drivers we know are quick. It's how they use this now and use the drivers ahead of them to make their way back up to the front of the grid.
A bad run from Nico through the chicane there. He's starting to drop back. Sam looks to take the inside into turn 1. Is he going to be late enough on the brakes? Possibly. I can't make it stick. Nico holds it around the outside, and that gives Sam a bad run, but now Karsten looking to make the move.
As Karsten Havdal around the outside into the old hairpin, claims 6th place. Sam Baird looks like he's really struggling out there at the back of the field. Ward leading the runners from P2 back.
George is definitely on the defence now. Charlie O'Kane's just pulled away. Whilst George is holding everyone else up. Lewis now looking for a move into turn 1.
It's Glendinning down the inside.
Or
George Ward looks to have come across there, but
I will review.
as Ethan Turner goes into the back of George. Not sure if that was a racing incident or if George came across, or maybe Gary Kingby maybe just made the corner. Charlie O'Kane, 5.9 seconds up now. Massive lead. Still less than, still over half the race to go. As we're watching now, Gary Kingaby losing out to Karsten Havdal into the Fox DS's. Nico Balderrama side by side, a lot of places make it up as they go door to door down the start finish straight. Nico Balderrama now up into 5th place.
It's a minor incident. I'm bordering on maybe it's more on Lewis for the incident between Lewis and George. Maybe a racing incident, maybe a small time penalty.
I think the other thing to consider as well is obviously with GRs it's so easy to sort of catch the car a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's not a case of sort of being hit and you're ice skating across the track like a lot of other series. I think it also comes down to driver ability. As we see George Ward in the back there getting all loose and down now into P10.
I'm going to go racing incident on that. Incident between Lewis and George, racing incident, no further action.
Charlie O'Kane absolutely on one now into the 115s with 115.9.
Well, that's a dive from Sam into turn 1.
I think Lewis very
Made a
early
stick.
on the brakes there.
I don't think Sam meant to do that move.
Definitely not. I
But it's
think
always-
it's a case of Lewis early on the brakes, Sam sort of reacting to that.
It's always the moves that you don't mean to make that look the best. As actually then, Lewis gets side by side and everyone's off. We're 4 wide. This is surely going to end in tears.
4 wide. Harry Hodge also now getting involved in this as there's still cars wide coming through the top of McLean's. Starting to settle down now as we come through Coppice. Karstein Havdal now up into 3rd place. Sam Baird fighting this one to the death.
Like that
through
no one's
this
in the
lap.
wall.
Did see Gary Kingerby running a little bit wide. As now
Sam
Sam
sends
Baird.
it but misses the chicane. I think that might be a slowdown.
Side by side now, Sam Baird.
Ethan's catching right back up to this pack now.
Karstein Havdal. Karstein Havdal now looking to the inside as we come up and through Hollywood.
Is this going to
Sam
end in
Baird
tears?
not
There's
wanting to
side-by-side
give this one up.
contact.
Now Harry Nottage also wanting to try and find a piece of the action here.
Looking to take the inside, but can he make it stick?
Sam Baird up the inside. Lewis Glendinning managed to
3
find
wide
the
there
grip
is
on the
not
outside
gonna
of the
work.
track as they are getting very wheel to wheel, banging doors through the top of Coppice. Side by side again, Sam Baird has the inside line, and we'll have that inside line coming into the Fogger TS's.
Karstein looked for a 3 wide when there was only about half a car's width there. Lewis has disconnected. So let's see what happens now with Karstein going wide, and then that's Gary getting it all wrong in the chicane. Luckily, he doesn't get collected there. I have no idea
All
how he didn't
drivers
get collected there.
doing well to sort of avoid that. And that all sort of initiated from
3 wide
Karstein
into turn
Havdal
1.
needing to go slightly defensive into the Fogger TS's, unsettled the car and
And Charlie
Nice.
O'Kane is loving this.
despite the other drivers to enter a slight bit of panic mode as it does start settling down here.
But
As
is
Karstein
that settling
Havdal
down? There's
now,
3 cars off the track.
now all the way over the outside line.
2 by 2 going in. Oh, how is this not ended in an absolute pile up?
Ethan Turner going slightly defensive there, scaring Sam Baird off, trying to take that inside line through Coppice. Basically telling Sam there, hey look, we want the run down the Dunlop straight. Casting Havdal holding his line there. Harry Nottage falling to the back of this pack as we see another driver going off at the back of the field there. That is Gary Kingerby going off through the Fog TS's. Ethan Turner now all the way back up into P3. So warning for Casting Havdal for off tracks through the bottom of the old hairpin. Balzac, cheers for the follow, welcome into the stream. How are we doing? 29 minutes to go, it's just under halfway now. Not sure what the fuel situation is like, whether we are going to be seeing any fuel stops, whether that's something that any of these drivers are really caring about at the moment. As Ethan Turner rocking that car around. Sam Baird now to the inside, just showing himself in the mirrors. Casting Havdal.
Casting gets the run on him. Sam fancy a bit of three wide action here. I don't think there's room. He's looking to make room. Not quite.
Ethan Turner absolutely shutting the door on Sam Baird through Redgate. Casting Havdal leading the pack. While all this fighting is going on, Charlie O'Kane and Nico Balderrama have just taken off into the distance. As Gary Kingerby into the pits for looks to be potentially a fast repair after the incident through the Fog TS's. Lewis 77, cheers for the follow, welcome to the stream. Sam Baird getting in the mirrors of Ethan Turner.
The netcode gods are being kind to these people right now.
And I said this at the beginning of the race, I think Gr86s were definitely going to make for some really good racing, especially with the short national circuit here at Donington Park. Sam Baird now into the pits. As we are still looking at Casting Havdal and Ethan Turner fighting for that P3 spot into Redgate. Ethan Turner around the outside. Good car management, manages to hold and find the grip. Harry Nottage now looking for a move as well as we come through the crane of curves. Casting Havdal losing out 2 positions in 3 corners. Harry Nottage now up the inside of Coppice.
But every time he goes for a move, that just then opens the door for Casting to then come through.
Casting really struggling over these curves through the Fog DS's. Gets up on 2 wheels. Manages to keep that nice and clean through there and does get a mega exit. Ethan Turner under pressure as Casting Havdal looks to get past him. Now under pressure from Harry Nottage. Through all this fighting, George Ward also gaining time on this battle for 3rd position. Ethan Turner to the inside. Really Claims third place from Casting Havdales. We do see Gary Kingaby getting all loose and towing back to the pits just in front of this pack. That might have put one of these drivers into a bit of a scare as they see a cloud of smoke ahead of them. George Ward now on the back of this train of drivers fighting for third position. This is the Donington Park National Circuit, Bailey.
See whether George, you know, maybe a bit angry from the fact he got spun out, decides to get a bit aggressive here. As every single one of those drivers just goes way wide.
So Ethan Turner, final warning for track limits, and Karstine Havdal, warning for track limits. Charlie O'Kane, front runner now into the pits.
Casting
George
Havdal and Harry on the superior strategy here because they have already pitted under the safety car. So Ethan Turner has not pitted. He will have to pit earlier and put more fuel in.
George Ward into the pits now. I was about to say everything has started to calm down for this battle for third. And as soon as one driver sort of sees an opportunity, I think everyone behind him also sees the opportunity and thinks might be able to squeeze through and take that gap too. So Nico Balderrama still yet to pit, Ethan Turner yet to pit. Currently front runners of this race. So it looks like Gary Kingaby retires from this race. Comes in on 18 incident points.
We do have Ken back and he's gone off again, put his car into the wall. Looks like he's carrying on, but a bit of damage to him. So we see Harry pitting. Maybe looking to try and get some clear air, do a bit of an undercut. I think a tyre stop in Gr86 is over a minute. Ethan really cannot shake casting here.
Less than 2 taggy.
Yeah.
No, I think seems fine for me.
Don't know whether you'll stream, huh? Don't know whether you'll stream, huh? It just said skipped live with unstable connection when I tried to load your live.
Is that on Twitch or
TikTok. It's not loading for me at the moment.
That is interesting. I do have a dropped frames, 26% over the last 2 minutes. Hopefully that's okay now. I'm not sure what's caused that. Very Norwich into the pits again for a second time. Karstine Havdal just falling back a little bit there from Ethan. Now it might just take him out of the slipstream as we come on to the Dunlop straight.
You have gone full robot in Discord.
Have I actually?
You're back now, but you're full robot and I still can't load your stream.
Interesting. So let's take a quick look at what happened to Ken Backham, which caused the damage that he had. Just gets a little bit loose over the inside curb. Is the stream still okay, or is it really bad?
I can't load it on TikTok.
Interesting.
It's still running on Twitch, it seems.
I think the live might be.
Yeah,
We are
Yep.
checking.
we are checking.
I mean, the feed in Discord has stopped being 2 FPS, so that's something.